This is the Practical Homeopathy Podcast, episode number 165 with Joette Calabrese.
Hi, I'm Joette Calabrese, and I welcome you to our healthcare movement, yours, mine, and the countless men and women across the globe who have retaken control of their family's health with practical homeopathy. So, for the next few minutes, let's link our arms as I demystify homeopathy, what was once considered an esoteric paradigm, into an understandable, reproducible, safe, and effective healthcare solution available to all. This is the medicine you've been searching for. My unique brand of homeopathy, practical homeopathy.
It is very exciting to be with you this week because we are actually in person, which doesn't happen too often, a couple times a year. But tell us where we are and what's happening.
Well, we're in Florida, and a number of our Mastermind members joined us here for a great weekend. This is fashioned after masterminds that were started back in the turn of the last century when Napoleon Hill was charged with the job of gathering up the heads of industry, getting them together and having them meet and share information on what made them successful, asking each other to help. And it was basically a secret group. So now we're not industrialists, but we're going to learn from them. And instead, we've gathered together. We've been doing this now. We're going on our third year where we gather together. There are 12 of us in one unit, and we have gotten to know each other because we're all asking each other for help with whatever it is we're looking to accomplish in our lives. That help could be from how to build my practice, how to teach gateways more frequently, how to incorporate my family into my work, how to study better. Some of the members in the group have no interest in ever practicing or even teaching. What they want to do is to just keep in touch with those people that they have a great deal of regard for and get feedback. And that's really what it is melding of the minds. It's consinity at its best because it's bringing all the minds together and everyone is parlaying off of each other. It sounds a little bit like a cacophony, but it isn't. It really is very organized. Each person has their specific time in which they present, and then those around the round table of the other 11 offer their suggestions, ideas, and plans to help them build their year. We're meeting now, and then we're going to meet every other week for an entire year. It's really a spectacular opportunity for all of us.
So in order to be in your mastermind group, what do students need to have accomplished in order to join the group? And I know there's a wait list. Actually, right now we have a number of people who wanted to join, but weren't able to necessarily get in this year, but we're hoping in the coming years. But tell me, what do these students have to have done to get in group?
They have to have gone through the academy, which is 1 full year, and the mastery, which is 11 months. So it's quite a commitment. And they have to be interested in growing themselves intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is that they're looking to accomplish. That's what they bring to the table and ask for help and then offer their help to others.
So today, your listeners are going to get a rare look into your mastermind group. And we've asked them to share some of their stories, right? It could be a story about their experience with homeopathy, a success story with homeopathy. It could be about how they've grown. So we're going to take a peek now into what some of the conversations are in the mastermind group.
Let's do that. Let's go. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Joette.
So, Sandy, we've been together now a number of years through the academy and then mastery, now mastermind. I've gotten to know you and appreciate your involvement in our mastermind groups. So I want to hear about your chicken story. I understand it's got some humor to it.
It does. It was really an interesting experience. I was teaching Gateway here in my office, this very desk, and heard a commotion from the garage, which is just down the hall, and ran down the hall. I excused myself from my gatewayers because this was quite an alarming turn of events. There was a lot of yelling going on. So I ran in the garage, and I have had chickens, little chicks growing in there. They can't be outside at that age. So they're about half grown until they get bigger and they can go outside to the coop. So they're in there, doing their little thing. But my husband is in there with a shovel yelling uncontrollably. I ran over to him, what is wrong? He said, look in the coop. And one of the chickens was completely wrapped up with a garden snake. Now, the snake was about 6 feet long and about probably, I don't know, 6 inches in circumference, a big, mighty snake. And it had my poor chicken wrapped up to the point where it couldn't breathe. So we were just frantic. I was yelling. I'm sure my gatewayers are back here, hearing all this going on. He's trying to chop at the snake without hurting the chicken. And I'm like, he's going to kill it. He's going to kill it. And finally, he separated them. My chicken was just like limp. I mean, I thought it had been asphyxiated. It was about on its way out. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my gatewayers are waiting. So I ran in with my limp chicken in this very desk. And they're all like bug-eyed looking at me with this appeared to be a dead chicken. And I laid it on my desk and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I told them what happened. Then I thought to myself, what a great teaching moment. So I got my aconite, put a little tiny bit in the chicken's beak, just cracked it open. And it wasn't, I don't know, 10 seconds before the chicken went and started walking all over the desk, landed on my shoulder, was just like back to normal. And I thought, man, this is just the greatest teaching moment. They were all aghast. And I told them, I said, I know homeopathy seems a little, esoteric and hard to grasp, but when you see it in action, what it can do is just like so encouraging to them. So luckily the chicken's okay to this day and laying eggs and doing fine.
They'll never forget it, Sandy. They'll never forget that story. They must be telling their friends and their neighbors and their relatives, she saved the chicken. It was dead. She saved the chicken right before our very eyes. Oh, what a great story.
It was really fun. And some of them have gone on to be in my gateway too. The new ones that have come in, they'll say, you won't believe it. She brought a chicken back to life. And
right in front of us, right before our eyes. Now, does this chicken have a name?
Yes, it is now called Aconite.
Oh, I knew it had to be something like that. Aconite the chicken. Oh, Sandy, what a great story. So tell us, what else are you doing?
Oh, I'm just trying to learn more about homeopathy every day because it's such an important medicine that people don't know about. It's kind of like made it my life's mission to kind of explain homeopathy to as many people as I can and get them on board and teach them about it. And then, I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of gardening and listen to you every week on Monday.
I heard your goals today and you said 10 books per month you plan to read. You've been an avid reader and now you're going to carry on with that and read 10 books a month. That is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that process and kind of making it a competition with myself and wanting to exceed my goal this year. So we'll see. And I'll report back to the group when we meet
in a couple of weeks. And you can see why, friends, this is so inspirational because I'm surrounded by women who excel, who really find a way, regardless of what else they're doing in their lives, to carry on and keep their intellect sharp and rapid. So thank you so much, Sandy. What a great little story. I love the story about Aconite the chicken.
Thank you. I'm so happy to share it. I think it's a funny story. So
it's great. It's great. Hi, Charis.
Hi, Joette.
It's so nice to see you. Let's do this. Tell us your story.
Well, so my story was that my husband came home from a business trip. He had been flying and he was saying, I have this tickle in my throat. And then that tickle moved down to something was gurgling around in his chest. And he was complaining about it, but he was also starting to stress because his job means he's traveling every single week, but he's also talking all the time. Like he's always doing Zooms, he's always talking. So he was getting concerned because as the tickle was moving into his chest, it was making him so he couldn't cough. And the way he was describing it, it made me think that it was sounding like pneumonia or something in that category. So I started thinking, okay, I have to treat him for pneumonia. So I got Cali Carb, antimonium tart. I also got a Pekic 30 because it was getting to a nagging cough. I started pulling out the things that I know to give him when it starts going that way. Then...
Why, has he had this experience before, Charis? Is this something that happens to him?
He's had a nagging cough. He always has had chest issues, like he's always had bronchial issues. He has asthma. And he's always stressed that it's immediately going to go into his chest, like it's going to become a huge chest ordeal. Then he's always like, I have to go to the doctor to get it figured out, that whole thing. But at the same time, he didn't have time to go to the doctor because he had a huge meeting the following week. So essentially, I got it so the tickle moved out of his chest, and then it went to his head, and then his head exploded. So then he started having all of this congestion in his nose, and like his head felt like he could barely function or think, and it was clouded. And this was over the weekend. So then I was like, I have to treat him for a sinus infection, like the beginning of a sinus issue. So then I started treating him for a sinus issue. So then it was sanguinaria, belladonna, calibicromium. I'm sorry, I'm talking really fast. But you start going into the next round of stuff. Then it moved all the way down to his chest again.
And that's that ability to pivot and know where you are, what the case is presenting, what to do next, not give the medicine and consider it done. You have to keep moving with it. It's up to you to do that little pas de deux.
I felt like I was chasing it down, like whatever was the next thing. But then it started, the mucus did start changing to a yellower mucus, just to be precise. And so I was in that panicking moment of, I'm on a timeline. I have to figure out exactly what remedy to give. And I immediately started sending a message in my signal, my bat signal, the signal group.
Which is this group, the mastermind group. We're all friends and everybody is very tight and always willing to help each other. Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's carrying a bunch of peers in my pocket. Like I always have them available, which is awesome.
Yes.
Somebody said, have you thought of Mercurius solubus, which I actually hadn't considered. I thought of other ones, but I was like, oh, let me try that one. And I did some research. I looked up in my Materia Medica and I was like, oh, this perfectly fits. Like it actually fits many elements of him. So I started adding that into the protocol that I was giving him. I did up his potency on Ipecac as well. And so I essentially got him from a tickle in his throat on Friday to pretty much better by Monday, but still tired. So then I added in gelsemium. And then by Tuesday, he was at his board meeting, able to talk the entire day and not having any coughing, anything going on.
You bet. That's fast.
Yeah.
That's fast. Most people don't realize that if you're using conventional medicine, it goes on weeks, not 4 days.
Well, he had somebody who was supposed to be meeting with him who had been sick for 3 weeks.
Yes.
So
he knew what was going on around him. Yes. Yeah. So I just have to ask you, did he say, thank you, Charis?
Yeah.
Yes, of course he did. Because he understands. He knows. You've been using homeopathy with him for a long time.
The other thing was he was supposed to get his blood pressure read because he was doing like a health test type thing for insurance. And he was panicking a bit because he always panics whenever he has those readings done. So I just gave him like Aconite because I was like, he's in panic mode. He's stressed about a bunch of things. I'm giving him Aconite. And he came in and he was like, that was the best reading I've had in 3 years. Like
blood pressure
reading. Yes. He said it was actually normal. Like he said, it's the first time somebody said to him, it's normal, because usually he's always in this anxiety panic. So it worked perfect.
Nice job, Charis. So now we have a chicken named Aconitum, and we have a husband who loves Aconitum because it helped him with his test for insurance. That's great. Yeah. Oh my gosh. See, these are the kind of stories that give us the kind of comfort that we all need to have these medicines at our fingertips, because who needs them more than anyone else is our families. This is where we all start, is with our families. There's no doubt about it. Thank you, Charis. Great story. Love it. Another Aconitum story. Thanks a lot. Hi, Breta.
Hi, Joette.
So you're one of our members of the Mastermind group. We're going into our 3rd year, just like the 3 of you, Sandy, Charis, and you. And we love to hear your stories. Are you going to talk about your cat, maybe?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Okay. An animal. It's fun when we hear about animals. Go ahead. I'd love to hear your share.
So my cat, we're not entirely sure, but she's probably about 13 years old or so. And she was starting to have frequent and very copious urination. So probably about every few hours, it was a substantial amount of urine. There was no way a cat should have been producing that much urine every couple hours. And she wanted to eat a lot of the time. The thing that was also noteworthy is that she wanted to be held and comforted a lot. And it was kind of a huge time sink on my part, because she would pester me if I did not comfort her. So I started the kidney failure protocol on Good Friday, actually, of 2025. And she immediately improved. She basically fell asleep, a very deep sleep, but she was a little reticent to be roused. Let's leave it at that. She would wake to eat, and then she'd go back to this deep sleep. And she did that for probably the better part of a week.
Wow.
She just slept and slept and slept. Before this time, she had always had a little bit of a tendency to have urinary troubles, and I fed her wet food and raw food and things to make sure that she didn't have a urinary issue. But like I said, it got to the point where even with these measures, with feeding her food that was not kibble, that was not dry food, she was still having these urinary troubles. So this was a long-standing issue. So that may be why she slept so long.
Well, and cats are prone to these urinary tract and kidney issues. That's often what comes up for them. Yeah, especially older ones.
Yeah. But when she was younger, she had issues as well. So I think this was, a slowly developing kidney issue, probably her whole life. But anyway, that was probably why the medicine acted so profoundly, because it hit on an issue that she had had for a very long time. And the medicine was desperately needed. As we know, a lot of times when the medicine is desperately needed, it acts very quickly.
And very deeply.
Yes. So basically, she's doing very well. At this point, she's using the cat box probably 3 to 4 times daily. If she uses it, on the more frequent side of things, the amounts are less of urine. If she uses it less frequently, then obviously she does more urine, but that's within the range of normal. She wants to eat maybe 3 to 4 times a day now, and she basically spends a lot of time alone and contented. Although obviously she still loves to be held. She still loves for us to spend time with her, but she's a totally different cat.
Really? So in that period of time, she was sick and you started to administer the medicine, and over a week, it took about a week to complete this, is what you're saying, right?
Not to complete the healing, but to radically change things. And then we often talk about how you might get, I don't know, maybe 50% of the cure accomplished in a rapid space of time. Well, now the next 50% took a lot longer, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. So what would you say all told?
So I took her off of most of the medicines, but I'm still giving her Meterinum. When I attempted to withdraw Bryonia and Lycopodium, she seemed like she still needed them. So I've actually left her on them, and I will probably test again at some point and see if she needs them soon. But she keeps improving. So I'm like, well, okay, we're not done yet, but
that's the way we know. We're not done yet. As long as there's still improvement remaining, then we're likely not done yet. Beautiful story. Thank you. But I love to hear about animals because they don't know what homeopathy is. They just get sick and they just need us, and there we are. Thank you, Breta. Great story. Appreciate it very much. Thanks, and I'll see you in a couple weeks at our next meeting.
Thank you for the opportunity to be part of Mastermind.
It's our joy to have you. Hi, Noreen.
Hi, Joette. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. We've spent a whole weekend together, haven't we? It's been really nice. So you've got a great story because you come to Mastermind not necessarily looking to go into practice. You like teaching, you teach the gateways, but really you came into it probably more than anything to help your family. And boy, did you really need it recently. So tell us your story.
So in early October, my husband, Mike, what we knew was he had a blood sugar problem and he was dehydrated. So we went to the ER, but what we found out was he got admitted to the hospital and they were telling us he had kidney failure. And in very short order, they put him on dialysis. It was very serious. And they wanted to put him on, insulin, medications, all kinds of stuff, plus the dialysis.
Blood pressure drugs, yes.
Yeah, they were trying to convince him that he had high blood pressure. So what happened, make a long story short, he did have to go on dialysis from October to December.
Not bad.
The end of December. So like 3-month period, approximately 30, 33 dialysis sessions in total. And by the end of December, because we used homeopathy, we changed his diet completely.
Yes, ma'am.
We were able to get off all medications. So he's no longer on any diabetes medications or anything. No medications.
Wow.
Plus, he is off dialysis.
You're not just taking him off willy-nilly. You're not breaking the rules. There's no need to have him on, is what you're saying. The doctors are saying, you're clear, go home. You're clear, you don't need that med. You're clear, you don't need to take this or that.
Yeah. So the conventional doctors, from my point of view, they don't understand homeopathy. We didn't really tell them about what we were doing, but their point of view was Oh, let's get you on this medication. Let's get you on this treatment. Oh, let's do this surgery. That's their
Paradigm.
Yeah, that's their paradigm. And then when someone gets off dialysis, when their numbers start improving, they're kind of scratching their heads and going, yeah, but they're not asking any questions. They're just puzzled that somehow somebody improved.
Yeah.
They don't see people getting off dialysis. They see people getting on the meds and they're talking, that's the way they talk, for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need dialysis for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you might even need a kidney transplant,
Mm-hmm.
so that's their.
Well, the best part is not only that Mike no longer needs this, it's not based on your assessment necessarily, it's based on their assessment. They've agreed to this. They think, yeah, you're doing fine. We don't know why. We don't understand, but somehow he's doing well and he doesn't need our care anymore.
And they always throw in, well, we think he can get off dialysis right now, but it might come back.
Right. So he's still going back. He's still going back to his doctors to be tested and checked and making sure that everything is still moving in the right direction. We're not going to eliminate it altogether.
But at some point, we're hoping the doctors will say, you know what? It's been a year and your numbers are normal. Maybe you don't need to come back and see us.
Yeah, that's what we look for.
We'll see.
Nice job. Great job, Noreen.
Thank you, Joette, for everything you do for us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for being here with us too, Noreen. Your involvement has been really valuable. It always is. Hi, Sheena.
Hi.
I'm so glad to have you with me. This is year 3 now that you've been with us with Mastermind. You've been through the Academy, Mastery, and now it's the 3rd year in Mastermind. And you always give us such great information. And you're very busy. You're in practice. So tell us what you want to share with us today.
I want to share a story about my dog, which is kind of the reason I started learning homeopathy.
Which was how far back? When was that?
Just a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, you started
when I started
originally.
Yes. Yeah, about a decade ago.
Yeah.
Started learning with you and did the Academy and everything. And I learned homeopathy so I could take care of my family primarily. And then it just kind of snowballed into something I was spending all my time doing. So I
Why not?
My practice.
Right.
Now I have about 100 clients and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's blossomed for you.
Yeah. So a couple months ago, my little 6.5-pound dog.
Is this Moki?
This is Katie.
Oh, Katie. Okay.
Who I thought everything was great with Katie.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she started slipping. So she'd be eating her food at her bowl and her legs would slip out from under her. And then she started not wanting to eat. And then her tail wasn't wagging. It was just drooped. And that kind of was like on a Tuesday. And then Wednesday, it was a bit worse. I called the vet and they said, well, we can get her in next week. And I said, this is pretty serious. They said, we'll call, 7:30 tomorrow morning.
You need a diagnosis. You wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah. So I had been giving her like arnica and different remedies to see. I thought maybe she hurt herself. Maybe she jumped off the couch or something. But it was happening fast. It was definitely out of my comfort zone to know what was going on. So I took her into the vet, who I trust very much. He knows I do homeopathy. He normally will give me a diagnosis and the information I need to help my dogs. This time was different. I went in, he said, this is serious. This is a neurological issue. She needs to go to get an MRI and go to the dog neurologist, which I didn't know was a thing, but it's a thing. So a couple hours later, we're at the dog neurologist. They said, yes, this is either a disc issue in her cervical spine and her lumbar spine, or it's a serious inflammation issue. Either way, we need to do an MRI and a spinal tap.
Now, how old is she?
She's 4.
Oh, she's young, right?
She's young.
Right.
She's young.
Yeah.
So they did those things. I said, okay. And they said, we need to do it now because it's pretty serious. So I went home and then they called me and they said, she has, and I'm going to just read the diagnosis. She has myelitis along with suspected meningitis, and they call it meningiomyelitis.
Meningitis.
Of unknown etiology.
Okay.
Meaning they don't know what it is.
Yep.
They don't think it's contagious. In addition, they said unrelated. They scanned her brain. She has a Charis-like malformation, hydrocephalus, and spinal fluid.
Does she have a big head?
So the problem is her head is actually too small, and the brain, which was inflamed, was putting pressure on it.
Okay.
And then their inflammation in her spinal cord was so severe that the messages weren't getting to her legs.
Okay.
And that's why she couldn't make them do what she wanted them to do, including her tail, because the messages couldn't get
that far to the back of her body.
Way back.
Yeah.
And so the neurologist said, we need to start her right away on steroids and this chemotherapy immunosuppressant. And with that treatment, a third of the dogs generally do okay after about a year. Another third have to stay on the medicine pretty much their whole life. And a third don't respond and have to be put down.
Oh, boy.
So this was pretty, pretty intense. I said, okay, I'm going to come pick up my dog and I'm going to try to use homeopathy. I will take the medicine with me. I don't want her to suffer, but I'm going to
give it a try.
I'm going to give homeopathy a try and then let's see. So I went home. I had a friend who's a homeopath come over and we worked out a plan for her and I started treating her immediately. I was very regimented. We made a list of the conditions. We made a list of the remedies. I set a timer for every 30 minutes and I dosed her remedies.
To get started.
To get her going because this was very severe. So I matched the frequency with the severity. And by the next day, she was a little better. By the next evening, a little better. And she continued to get better and better. The vets kept calling. I said, yep, I think she's getting better and better.
Her tail started to pick up a little bit.
Started to pick up. She started to eat. She was more able to walk on the carpets, staying away from the wood floors. I thought she was, I would say, 60% better. Took her in 1 week later to the neurologist. They took her back. The nurse came back and said, so you didn't give her the medications? I said, no, I didn't. And then the neurologist came back and she said, she's fine. She's 100% fine.
Turned it completely.
She said the slipping she's doing now is because she's probably strained her back leg.
Yeah.
And it's not quite stable. And they said she's completely fine. And,
oh my gosh.
And she's like, what did you do? And I said, homeopathy. She's like, but what exactly did you do? And I said, do you want me to tell you the remedies? And she's like, okay, well, never mind.
You mean I have to learn something brand new and big?
And I'm so thankful for her for the correct diagnosis.
Yes, of course.
Because I needed that. But I knew inflammation.
Yeah.
I knew I could handle that.
Yes, neurological weakness.
And I've continued to treat her. I feel like then a week later, I took her back to the veterinarian, her normal veterinarian who sees her regularly. He was just amazed. He again said, yep, she's totally fine.
So now at this point, or even at that point, you're not using it every few minutes, of course. You're opening it up and using it much less frequently.
Yes, I backed it way off. And by 2 weeks out, I would say, even though they said that she was completely fine, I would say she was probably 80% better. I would say now she's pretty much 95% better. I am still giving her the remedies about once a day.
Oh, good. So you're opening it up even
and
further.
then I'm working chronically on her malformations.
Okay.
Because she does have her
little brain.
These congenital.
Her little head.
Her defects.
And she's a little dog.
And she's a tiny dog.
What is she?
Yeah.
What's her breed?
She's a she-pom.
So that's a Pomeranian and a Shih Tzu. Okay.
Yeah, she's tiny.
Yeah, so everything was tiny.
Everything is tiny.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's just, and I was sitting there when the doctor was giving me all this diagnosis and I thought, oh my gosh, what if I didn't know homeopathy?
What would you do? You would have to just go to steroids?
Do what they were going to tell me to do. And those options were terrible.
Right.
So I was just really thankful.
Such a good story, Sheena. That's a good one, especially because we know this little dog.
Yes.
I've actually met her. Yeah. And she doesn't splay any longer.
No,
she can stand up firmly.
She
runs.
Around.
Oh, with her tail.
Oh, yeah. She chases the other dog around now.
Oh.
She's a bit of a bully.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is I've moved houses. In my house, she still wouldn't go on the floors because I think she thought it was the floors and not her.
Yeah.
But as soon as I moved into a different house that also had the same flooring, she's zipping around, chasing everybody.
Back to normal.
She's like, okay, these are fine floors.
Oh, yeah. It was the floors, Mom. It was the floors. That's such a great story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheena.
Thank
you for sharing. Thank you so much. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, Joette.
So glad you're with me.
It's good to be here.
But it's not only good for us to talk now, it's good because we've gone through the Academy. You've gone through Mastery, now Mastermind. 3 years ago,
yes,
2 years ago, and then now this year again, we're starting our brand new 2026.
Well, who can stop? You can't stop.
I know you can't stop.
Yeah.
It's really deliciously intellectual, right? Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. So you've got stories. I love to hear about them. You're in practice, but I also want to hear about whatever story you want to share with folks.
Oh, there's so many, but I would say lately, one of the things that I really love is working with men. So and that all came out of working with my female clients, but they would come and we would take their case and they would have whatever issue, but then they would go at the end, do you have something for my husband? And I would say, well, tell me a little bit more. And so it seemed like many of these men had very similar issues. They're on similar drugs. They have similar experiences because of where they're at in life, their age, their responsibilities, that type of thing. So I kind of started working more with these male clients who were these women's husbands. And we worked on things like frequent urination, prostatitis, anxiety, depression, lack of motivation, other men's issues. And
super common, especially in middle-aged men.
Yes. And it was so great because I think it's hard for men to open up a lot of times. But once we got in there and started working on these issues, they were so grateful when they would come back for their follow-up and say, hey, I wasn't sleeping, but it really wasn't that I wasn't sleeping. I was getting up
to
3 or 4 times a night to urinate.
Yes.
Now I'm only getting up 1 to 2 times a night and I'm being able to get so much more sleep. And just that was affecting their lives in a positive way. And then there were some medications that were adversely affecting them, and we could help them maybe look at things differently. And they were eating better, eliminating seed oils, getting more exercise. So we just saw a lot of progress in that area. And my husband is currently in the
academy, which is amazing. It's a family affair now.
It is. And so I'm hoping that sometime we can team up on those issues. He's retired Air Force, was in special operations. And that creates its own unique pathologies with those men who have gone through those type of situations, been away from their homes, been in war. There's a lot of mental health issues, PTSD, as well as all the things they're exposed to downrange, all of the chemicals they're given throughout their military career. So we've talked about maybe at some point really being able to work with the veteran community to offer those types of services because they really, really need it.
Absolutely. We've interviewed you before. You're on one other podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
On podcast 126, right? So for those of you who are interested in hearing more of these great stories, go to podcast 126 and listen to Kirsten's other stories. So I just have to say, for those who are listening, we see that when usually the mother or the wife starts into the academy and gets such great knowledge and so such useful information for a family that we often see either the husband is interested or the son or the daughter. And we've seen that a number of times. But actually, I have to say, I think this is the first time it's been a wife and her husband following in her footsteps.
Yeah, it's great.
It is really great.
We work really well together, and I'm so excited about what their future will hold for us.
Well, you have a whole new subject. Your pillow talk is now different.
Right. Yeah. We're talking about the repertory and the materia medica over dinner.
Yeah. What page was that on, honey? In the clinical section?
What protocol is that? It's great. We love it.
It is great. Yeah. It adds a whole nother dimension to a marriage.
Yeah. And then to be able to get that knowledge and then teach others, hopefully we'll be able to do couples, gateways and protocol courses so that we can draw not only the wife who it's typical, but also bring the husband when there's that male presence. So we're really excited to see.
Well, it's even more than that. It becomes a family affair, not just husband and wife, but you have 5 children.
We have 6 children.
Oh, excuse me. You have 6 children.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so that now these children, even though they're older, some are older, some are younger, this becomes a family affair. Now it becomes a part of the legacy of the family. And now instead of automatically running to get a drug for this or that, they can at least start with this kind of thinking. If needed, if conventional medicine is needed, okay, we understand. But we can start with this possibility first. Yeah. It's a beautiful legacy.
Yeah. And I get texts all the time from my kids. Mom, is it Nux? Do I give him belladonna? What do I give him? Is it this? So yeah, it's great. Yeah. In fact, my 8-year-old, when he doesn't feel well, he'll go, Mom, where's the nut?
I know.
And now he has his own little stash. He's got his own.
I understand. My son's with stash. I know. My sons did the same thing. I know.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Kirsten, thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for all that you've done to just build this community. It's so great. So if you're out there listening, come join us. Take a gateway class, take a protocol course, and maybe even join the academy. And then one day you'll be doing this.
Well, and that's what you do too. You teach these classes as well.
I do.
So
I love to teach.
Yes.
Love to teach.
Yeah, one of the best teachers we've got.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Joette.
I'm so glad you're here with me.
I'm so glad to be with you.
Well, and I also love that you've been with me through the Academy, that's 1 year, and then Mastery, which was 11 months, Mastermind 2 years ago, and now this year, 2026. So we've really gotten to know each other, and it's a privilege to get to know you.
It's a privilege to know you. It's been an amazing ride.
Yeah, for me too. So let's talk. Tell me what you want to share with folks.
There's so many amazing things that practical homeopathy does, but something that comes across so often and is so quick relatively for many people, and it's just so far reaching and can really nip things in the bud when people might move on to something that's just so much more advanced and invasive. It's symphytum and calcifas.
Oh, combination. That's that Banerji combination. I love it.
It's so good. It works for so many things when people have bad backs, when they have bursitis, when they hurt their knee,
Arthritis.
like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Their back, if
Yeah.
like they have a bulging disc.
Yes.
I've worked with students and clients, my dad, my dogs, I mean, my friends, just everyone has benefited.
Osteomyelitis, osteoporosis, osteopenia. Yeah, it's a wonder.
The list goes on.
I know.
I wanted to just mention the huge success that has provided so many people and animals.
Yes.
And myself, even if somebody just they hurt their back and they can't do work, they want to get back into life. Or if they've torn their meniscus, it's just something that can help them get back in action without, when I see people going in for surgery.
It's heartbreaking because you know there's another opportunity to get this done and with so much more ease.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And cost.
Yeah.
Emotional
and financial. That's absolutely so. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. Christy.
Hello, Joette.
It's so nice to have you with me here.
Thank you.
But it's nice because this is a continuation. We're just doing a little interview here, right? So that's for you to tell some stories about yourself. And you've been a mastermind. Now, this is the third year, right? So the first year was 3 years ago. Then last year, 2 years ago. And now it's this year, 2026. And we're going to be together for the next year, every other week with our little 12 numbered group. So thank you for doing this. So what do you have to share with us today?
Well, I would like to share just a story about one of my kids.
Oh, love it.
Because everything that I'm learning, when it all comes down to it, is for my family.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And so I want to share something that blessed us so much. So last spring, it was my son's senior year. He is an athlete. 2 days before track season, he sprained his ankle in a soccer game. Really badly.
Sprains can take a long time, too.
Absolutely. We got an x-ray, went to urgent care. Well, nothing was broken, but they said he sprained everything. So he was pretty crushed because his goal was to make it to states. So we figured out together what remedies he needed to take. It was his second sprain. We had one previously, so we learned from the first one. And homeopathy was able to heal his sprain in less than 3 weeks.
Oh, my.
He not only went back to track, but the first day back, he ran 6 miles.
Oh, my goodness.
And he ended up making it to districts, qualifying for 4 races. He medaled in 3.
Oh, my goodness.
So he did not make it to states, but he conquered that spring. It blessed him. That was the best graduation gift that he could have gotten. And we worked together doing it. And just being able to have that knowledge to care for my son in that way is priceless.
Yes, it is.
This medicine is amazing. And it's such a gift to us, especially as mothers, to be able to care for our family.
Oh, yeah. So it gives us such faith in why we're even here, that we can carry on our duties, our responsibilities to our families. This is the son that, tell that story, Christy. It's such an adorable story.
I mean, he's had to use homeopathy so much and he's so impressed by it that he signed up for the academy. He didn't even tell us. Previously, he had mentioned that he was interested, and then we just kind of let it go because you don't know what your 18-year-old son is going to do. And one day he was like, "Mom, I got accepted."
I didn't even know you applied, honey.
It's amazing. So that was so cool. And now he's loving it. He works with adaptive sports and things up in Vermont, and he just has a heart for that. And this medicine is going to be of such value to him.
He's going to fly with it. He's going to fly. What's so interesting is that the students in the academy are not 18-year-old men.
Right.
No.
He's a brave soul.
I know he is a brave soul, because there are men here and there, but that's a little unusual, especially for an 8. Now, we've had a few of them, But this is, and for him to just do it, and his mom has already graduated. What a testament to your mothering, your ability to mother and bring this into your family. It's a beautiful thing, Christy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, folks, there you have it. Now you've gotten a taste of the caliber of people who are working with this practical homeopathy, going through the Academy Mastery Mastermind, and the kind of commitment that they've had in their gaining knowledge and learning how to apply this information for their family members and to bringing it out into the public. So I hope you enjoy listening to these wonderful people. It's my honor to share many lessons on this simple method of using homeopathy for free, without affiliates or advertising, here in my podcasts, but also my blog posts and Monday Night Lives. But it's critical that you learn how to use these medicines properly. These podcasts should serve as only the beginning of your training. Peruse joetteslearningcenter.com to find fun study group opportunities and in-depth courses developed by subject. So with the proper training, you can join the thousands of students before you in developing the confidence and competence to protect the health of your family and loved ones with my brand of homeopathy, Practical Homeopathy.
You just listened to a podcast from internationally acclaimed homeopath, public speaker, and author, the founder of the Academy of Practical Homeopathy, Joette Calabrese. Joette's podcasts are available on all your favorite podcast apps. To learn more and find out if homeopathy is a good